Okay, so first you clear off the space. Well, this is what I'm doing. You can do whatever you want. I cleared off this desk here, and I'm putting on a plain old poster board that you can get in a giant pack. And then what I'm gonna go do is go gather my supplies. Okay, so these are some of the things I think I might need for this. We've got some different Post-it notes. We have, this is a Monday, this is like days of the week Post-it note. So useful if you're planning specific stages. Of course, writing utensils of sorts, a notebook, of course, to doodle ideas specifically or brainstorm some stuff out. We have supporting materials, so you can either have them printed or you can just have your iPad or phone nearby with anything you need to kind of like base some project planning from. And then I printed off a calendar. It's actually supposed to be black, but my printer is out of ink and decided to print everything in pink and or brown. So we've got brown here and pink over here. Don't mind that. But this is just to help me draft out the planning stages of like when things should go out, and then I can put those things into my planner whenever it makes sense.
So my first step is to take all of my supporting materials, go through them, and write down any points that I want to dive deeper into. And I write those points using, of course, like a pen and a notebook nearby, just to kind of consolidate all of my big ideas like on a piece of paper. And then from there, we'll dive a little deeper with the Post-it notes. So now I have all my points that I want to dive deep into, and I'm going to take my Post-it notes and just start using a Sharpie and give each major point a note and kind of spread them out on my poster board. It doesn't even really matter how you spread them out because they are posted, so you can move them around and stuff, but just get them on the board. So from here, I use each Post-it note as like the center of a mind map bubble or whatever, and I kind of just write directly on the poster board with a pen and continue each point off into more points, supporting ideas, brainstorming, just all of the notes kind of surround the Post-it note. Now I already feel better having all of this laid out in front of me. The visual of it feels so much better than it did before. But from here, what I do is I take my calendar sheets and kind of work backwards from a launch date or something and sort of plug each main Post-it note into like a calendar day. And from there, I'll break them down further into planners and such later on.
Alright guys, I hope that this kind of like watching me project plan helps you kind of see this process. It's kind of messy, but that's because I was doing this in real life with you, like because I didn't have this planned out, obviously. I was using this to plan, and I thought it might be fun for you guys to come along with me and for you to see how this actually goes down, because this was real. I didn't like script this or like plan for the planning, none of that. So I really did this in real life with you guys. So this is how I project plan whenever a project is kind of too big, not really too big, but just too broad. And I don't know, sometimes I need to get out of the digital world and play in the tangible one to really map things out and by doing that, things become a little more clear, and then I can start really seeing how this visually lays out. I know that this visual stuff is helpful for some people because with some of my clients, I find prefer seeing visually how things are going to work, because just telling them like, oh, well, first they're going to go here and then here and then here, and then from that this happens. They're like, okay, but they don't quite get it. They need to see it. And I have in the past even mapped things out while I was on the phone with a client and just mapped out like first this happens and then pointing with arrows and stuff. And even though it's saying the same thing I'm saying, seeing it helps. So that's the idea behind this, is I need to just see how everything lays out so that I can map it out and see how I, do things in what order and whatever, and give a little more, give myself a little clarity on the project. So this is how I like to do that. And it's not for everything, so don't go thinking that I do this for everything I do. I only do this when projects are just a little bit kind of crazy, or maybe I'm just overwhelmed with ideas, because sometimes you get into those modes where you just have so many ideas and you don't know what to do. This is what I do when I'm in that stage. And yes, there's tons of online tools that help you with this, but being online all the time, sometimes this is what I have to do to focus. And this is what I have to do to actually map things out without stumbling over what tool should I use and what should I do for here and there, and oh look, I got a notification and an email and this and that. So it's like too much. This is what I'm doing. I'm away from my phone, I'm away from my computer, and I'm breaking things down and visually seeing how they all connect to one another and what I should do, because sometimes things can just be so broad. So I'm sure I've repeated myself a bunch on this idea in this video, and I hope it wasn't too crazy, but let me know if this was helpful or if it was just too chaotic for you. That's fine too, I totally get it. But this is what's helping me, breaking down a big project idea into smaller chunks and then mapping that out and then giving me an idea of where I need to go from here. Definitely go follow me on Instagram if you want to see what I'm doing day to day. And I will see you in the next video, which I'm really excited about. And I'll see you in this community. If you're a part of the Heart Library, you will get an invite to this community once I get it all put together. Once all these little sticky notes are taken care of on the platform, I'll let you all in. Well, I've got to go. I've got work to do. And thank you so much for watching.